how about making the color of the cap and the color of the shirt look the same? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do that with just one layer. So let's dive right into the tutorial. Okay, so in Photoshop, we have adjustment layer down below the side, the right corner. And if I click on it, you're going to see different adjustments layers, and the one that affects color the most is the selective color. And for this one, the hue and saturation, that is what I use. So but for this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use both the hue and saturation and the selective color to get that result. So I'm going to grab the hue and saturation for the first one. Now you're going to see that whenever you select an adjustment layer, it comes with a mask, a white mask, revealing that it's actually affecting everything in the image. So whenever I change any of this, it's actually going to change everything in the image. I'm going to reset that. So now we have to create a mask that affects only the cap alone. How do we do that? We do that by increasing this and then inverting the mask using Ctrl I to invert the mask, grabbing our brush tool, and this time around you can use your brush, add brush, make the hardness 100% so that it won't spill over to the background. So I'm going to close the mask right now, and then I'm going to draw a mask revealing the effect on the cap alone. So I just finished drawing that with the brush tool, and notice I use the white brush. So when your brush foreground color is white, it affects the image. When it's black, it will not. Okay, so it's for erasing. So black means erase, white means review. Now there are many ways you can select. I just select with the brush, but if you want to do that, you can use the select color range, and it's going to bring out the color. You're just going to click on it, hold down shift, and just go ahead. If you don't want it to spill over anyway, but know how it's going to do that, because there are some colors that are on the cap and still on the body. You can see the lips, so that's just one disadvantage about it. So that's why I use the mask. Now here's our mask affecting only the cap. Okay, so now you're going to go inside selective color layer, and now for us, we're going to reset the mask so it's like it's default. Now we want to affect just this top part and make it look like this yellow, right? We're going to look for the color of this one, and mostly it falls around yellow and red. It doesn't look like green, doesn't look like blue, doesn't look like magenta at all. So use red. Now on the red, the hue and saturation, when you want to change color, you have to use the hue. When you want to change the intensity of the color, you use the saturation. And you want to change the lightness or the contrast, you use the lightness of the hue and saturation. So now again, drop down on the master. When you drop down on the master, we have this red, yellow, and magenta and blue, all these colors together. Now I want to affect the red. So whenever you want to affect the color of the red, you change the hue. Whenever you want to affect the lightness or contrast, you change the lightness. Contrast, you change the lightness. When you want to affect the intensity of the color, you change the saturation. Okay, so now for the red, I'm going to adjust this till I get yellow, the tip. So you can see at the tip we're having some yellow. Let's quickly zoom in. You can see at the tip we have some yellow color, and the reason why some parts are not changing is because that color is another color in the image, so it's not red. So we're going to click on this, and it's not yellow as well. So if you see, I'm changing the yellows and nothing is happening. So I'm going to make this 0. So that color is magenta. You can see it around this side, so it's magenta. So you go to the magenta and then change the color of the magenta. As I take it up, it becomes more like yellowish. So let's zoom out and make sure it's blend with the color of the image. Now I'm going to go back to the red, because that's the tool we're using. So you can see now we are almost getting there. So it looks more like green. Let's go to the magenta and then bring it backwards a little bit. So you just need to bring it, increase the saturation, decrease the brightness, because the brightness of this one is actually dark. We can go ahead and go to the red again and try to, you can use one layer, you can use two layers. So we have this. I can increase the intensity of the red, and there we go. We can bring down the lightness as well. So increase, and I'm gonna quickly adjust. All right, so I found a sweet spot for that, and we can quickly check our before, which is this, and after. So you can also see that on the glass. Let's take a look at the glass now. You can see that there's some spew of the other color that are there before. So you can quickly grab the brush tool, and this is what we get. We want to change the color, right? So this is it. Now if you want to use the other one, which is the selective color adjustment, so let's quickly use the selective color. I'm going to hold down Alt and drag the mask. Still we need to replace the mask, yes. So it's affecting only that place. So open up the selective color. Whatever I do is going to affect just the mask alone, so you can see what's going on inside. Now the way the selective color works is it adds cyan, magenta, yellow, black, white, blue, opposite of magenta, green, opposite of cyan, red. It adds it to the color you select anywhere here. So if I select white and I increase any of this slider, it's going to affect the color. So just increase, you can see that it's affecting the colors inside. Now let's reset that, and I'm going to choose the two colors that are present in the image. So right now you can see that the magenta is looking the same like the cap. So you can easily select the magenta, and what you need to do is to subtract magenta from the image. So if I take it towards the magenta, I'm subtracting magenta, I'm adding like green to the image. So like this. If I take it this one, I'm adding more magenta. So I'm going to add more green to the image. Now I want it to look like yellow, so I need to feed in some yellows inside, not the other way around, which is blue. I told you if I'm going towards the name, you're adding the opposite color. So let's add in some yellows, and also the cyan. We're going to add some red to the image. So this is for the magenta. We might come back to it, and let's go ahead, select the red. Now the red, now we like to add in some yellows. So let's go ahead, add some yellows, and we can have some green if we want, but the green is actually going to make it look the same. It's already even looking the same. And quickly, if you had some red, I'm sorry, I'm adding cyan now because I'm moving away from the cyan, and all I just need to do is to add some, some red to it. So let's make it look the same just a little bit, and then we can increase the yellow, and like that. Let's go back to the magenta and see what we can do and bring it back. So this applies to any image at all. Take it up and take this backwards or forward. Yeah, I think forward is the best. Let's go back to the red and just wrap things up with the red. All right, so if you find a sweet spot, you can stop there. So I think I like it right here. And perfect. All right, so we can leave it like this. You can always look away and look back at it. So like this. Now we have before and after, and this one before and after. Okay, so this one looks a little bit greenish to me, and this one looks a little bit orange to me. So this seems perfect because it's actually affecting the color, unlike the disadvantage of hue and saturation. It's affecting both the the other colors in the face. All right, so this is how to get the two. If you combine the two, you have something like this. And you know what you can do, just grab another one, which is a selective color, sorry, hue and saturation, and I'm going to grab this and drag it on top. Yes, replace mask. And you know what to do, you need to go to the yellows now and mess around with the yellow. So we want this yellow to look like this. We just need to mess around with the hue and saturation. Okay, so sometimes you can bring up the saturation and then bring this backwards a bit, and then you have your image. There you go. So it's as simple as that. All right, so that should be all for the now. All right guys, thank you guys for watching. See you in our next video.